Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I will be talking about the object I chose in the research paper and how this item has affected me specifically over the quarantine. We all know that electronic devices, especially our phones, are the most popular items that are sold and bought nowadays. They have become essential. They're so relevant now that they have become very important, making them an extension of ourselves. We may use these devices for various reasons, for education, work, communication, between family and friends. It can be very good for us until we overuse our time with all this clutter we have bought. In other words, it is really hard to escape from them so we can really procrastinate. We get distracted easily, and in my case, I can get lost on Twitter for 6 to 10 hours. I would say I've gotten way worse over the quarantine. I've become very dependent because I have found safe spaces and people who share common interests with me. I would still say that my phone has impacted me psychologically from the way I behave, think, and interact, both positive and negative. I have shaped my identity and have incorporated myself in various types of groups of peers, but I have lacked in my performance due to my lack of sleep and concentration. Hmm. Gen Z is a generation that was greatly impacted by technology. We've had electronics since we were four and owned phones when we were children or preteens, so it's a huge part of us. We have formed an intimate relationship with our phones in this quarantine. I've definitely been more connected with my socials and I've been more aware about the world and even myself. I've tried to look up and do more research about myself because for plain curiosity, and it has helped. This dependent habit I've developed is also very unhealthy because it gets me obsessed. Even though I've expressed my connection with my apps, I also feel attached to my phone as a whole. I think, because it carries a lot of information and data, that I wouldn't change it for another phone. Like Jared says, babies have shown an attachment to certain objects, believing that their special object had a unique essence, a form of magical thinking that reappears in adulthood in our treatment of heirlooms, celebrity memorabilia, and artwork. So, since we are babies, we experience connections with objects that influence us psychologically. We were already wired to feel such attachment. Identity. Like I've said before, my identity has changed in many ways with the people I've interacted and what they've offered me have changed me. For example, during the Black Lives Matter movement, people were sharing important information and history. People were sharing their own stories, so we were engaging in a more intimate way, like so we can understand as a whole what they're going through. And I really stood for them. I did all I could to help, but I listened and I learned about the corrupt system that has obviously existed since forever. Nonetheless, I became an activist. Later on, I learned more about communism, for example, and I have been shifting as a socialist. It took time, but it was more effective throughout this quarantine because obviously we had more time to look more research. Um, According to Jared here, he says possessions are a great way of conveying group membership and community. And according to Silver, he says people undergoing role transitions may turn to objects to provide concrete evidence about their identities. Role transitions are contexts where objects are particularly important as constitutive elements of identity formation. I truly feel like I can relate to this part the most because I have truly changed. because of the communities and the memberships and everything. It's a lot of influence. Procrastination. Procrastination. The worst thing that has brought my phone has been the amount of procrastination. I admit that I've been going through a lot, and I'm sure that everyone else can relate somehow. I overused my phone as a distraction, as a sense of comfort, and even as an escape. It has helped me through a lot in many ways, but it has also consumed me and made me lose track of time. Once I'm on my phone, I get lost in it. The connection I've developed with it, it has only grown stronger. In addition, it is more engaging and entertaining. I also admit that I would rather read threads on Twitter, posts on Instagram, and links people post about social justice or social issues than sitting here and hear them over a virtual app where the connection can get cut. And I don't understand the professor because it's not very engaging and dynamic. Truly, online classes aren't very engaging as simply reading other people who have gone through all these experiences and can tell them in a more intimate and vulnerable way. Like here, okay. According to Ferrari, all persons who procrastinate claim an overabundance of possessions, clutter, which they identify as a part of themselves and as an extension of their identity and reflects a lower sense of home, comfort and security in one's intimate dwelling. In another hand, I don't own a lot of clutter, but the clutter in my phone is what makes me stay inside. It pulls me in and it's really hard to escape from it. I feel that my phone will always be one of the most important things I'll own in my life, but it is very, very time consuming and way too engaging for my attention span. I haven't been my best academically because my phone is one of many reasons. I procrastinate and waste hours from my sleeping schedule or free time, even though it is my free time, but the things I do and even my schedule for my university and academically. I acknowledge that it's because it's been a really, really long and rough year for most of us, if not all of us. But even then, I shouldn't justify it. I have to fight the urge and plan and organize my time better. It will be my goal for next semester for sure. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for your time and attention. I wish you all a good day. Goodbye.